And welcome into episode 33 of the Bama Geeks. Hope you are doing extremely well. Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Oh, we are all tired for various reasons.
Yeah. Busy weekend.
Been working, been playing.
Mm-hmm.
Been a whole lot of. It's been a great weekend.
And being old.
Too short.
I get the old. I got it.
Man, it's been 90 seconds.
We already said we're old.
I was trying to contribute it to staying up late and working, and Kevin working outside, but no,
and being old.
Oh, so I'm Brock Parker. Hope you're doing well. We appreciate you joining us as always. For us, it is Sunday night. For you, I hope you're having a good time, no matter what time it is. But we'll round table real quick, go around the room, see what's happening. And Bo, what's been going on with you, man? We'll start with you, Bo Bearden.
Long time no see, I guess.
It's only been 4 hours since we last left you.
I'm trying to think. Since the last time we recorded, mostly worked and then rolled around. And then we had, of course, what we're going to discuss, Magic City Con. Had the kiddo with me all weekend. He had a very good time. He enjoyed it.
He did.
I know it's not on our table to talk, but at least I'll bring it up. You guys eventually watch it. I watched the new Beavis and Butthead movie, which if you're a fan of the franchise, if you're one of those want to be delinquent children, but teens, but you weren't one, but you live vicariously through them, then watch it. They do a great job of bringing Beavis and Butthead to current year, but it's still very funny. Mm-hmm. And beyond that, that's about it. I guess the rest of it we'll talk here later on.
All right. Kevin, how about you, buddy? What's been going on, Mr. Gardner?
I super stoked that I actually got to come to Magic City Con. It was kind of up, but I got up that morning. I was like, man, heck yeah, we're gonna go. I actually did probably one of the better pictures I've done in a while. That's my profile picture now on Facebook. The picture of me in Quidditch. So I had several people stop and tell me, man, I've seen your costume before, and I can tell the difference. It's got the logo, the patch on it now. And I was like, yeah. So that hour and a half sitting down there recording and talking about cosplay while I was sewing the patch was worth it.
Yeah, it paid off for you.
Yeah, for sure. And
before you go on, that's a perfect segue to, in case you want to see this video, it is a Patreon exclusive.
Ta-da!
Patreon.com/Bama Geeks. You can go and Kevin will school you on sewing that patch.
It's basically, guys, if you want to hear me jaw on about all my costuming history, which I've been cosplaying for, I think about 22 years, something like that at this point, just off and on. Just kind of going over my history while I'm sitting there sewing a patch with no thimble. Never had a thimble. And I still managed not to stick myself. Yeah. But today, instead of going to the convention, I worked on my fence, which, I mean, I sound like a broken record here, but it's a very long project when you're doing it by yourself. Okay. So I'm getting some good progress. And as I normally do, I do a post about posts where I'm talking about posts and building the fence. And so I did a post today and I was like, and one of the more pleasant parts of actually building a fence is actually putting the, at least for my design, is actually putting the welded wire up. 5 minutes later, I hit my thumb with a hammer. Okay. Ouch. And I'm over here and I've got it under ice right now, trying to keep it from swelling so I don't lose my fingernail. So the lesson to me is don't ever say it's pleasant until it's done.
Yeah.
What you should do is you should take that thimble you're not using to sew with and use it when you hammer. That's,
I don't have one big enough for my thumb though.
Oh yeah.
And that's the segment of The More You Know.
Yeah. So yeah.
Now and knowing is half the battle.
Yes.
Body massage.
So yeah, the fence is. The progress is there. The fence is coming along. If anybody you want to keep up with the progress on it, feel free to reach out to me on any of the socials. I'm pretty easy to find, or just hit me up on Instagram, and you can follow with the madness too. Now complete with self-injury. Fun.
If you're on the fence about learning about fence.
It's a pretty good one. If I don't say so myself, which I do say so myself, because I'm the one who did it.
Yeah, it looks great, man.
Yeah, take pride in your work, man.
Yeah, whenever we get a storage building, we're probably going to tear down our fence just to get the building into the backyard, and then have to rebuild it. So,
so we know it's good to know a guy that knows something about fencing. And we're not talking about with swords. We're talking about fences.
or selling stolen goods.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, well, good deal. Well, Jess.
Hey.
So, what's been going on with you?
Well, I mean, you ought to know. You live with me. We're married.
We've established this.
I don't know.
But the studio audience doesn't know.
I just felt like being a smart aleck for just a few minutes. So
that's fine. You're not one very often. So
we've had a busy month of June. We really have. We've had something going on every single weekend.
Thank goodness it's almost July.
July's going to slow down a little bit for us. It will a little bit. I mean,
well, for the weekend stuff, yes.
Yeah. We got to the last 2 weekends. We've been weekends that we've enjoyed with friends. Last weekend, what was that? The weekend of Father's Day weekend.
Yeah.
We had the Avril Lavigne and Machine Gun Kelly concert. But I got a little surprise earlier in the week. My friend Katie Ambrose messaged me that her and her husband Chase were going to be in Birmingham that weekend as well. They are friends over in Georgia that we usually don't get to see them till about, Dragon Con once a year. So I was very happy to hear from them that they were going to be in town and wanted to kind of get together for a little bit. So we got to have dinner with them prior to the concert. And Chase and Katie had come over to see Troll 2. They was doing that part of the Sidewalk film series here in Birmingham. And one of the worst horror movies, actually one of the worst movies I've heard that's ever been made. So,
but the Alabama connection to that is there's a dentist that lives in Alexander City.
Yes.
And he was in the movie.
Right. And he was there that night too. Yeah. Made an appearance that night. So, looks like they had a great time with that. And so we had dinner. We went to the concert later on. They went to their thing with Troll 2. And Avril Lavigne and Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
Know a lot about Avril. Been a fan of Avril. That's Brock, because that's his guilty pleasure.
I've mentioned it before. Yeah. Avril's first album dropped when I was working in that format in radio as a DJ. So I've been her entire career been a fan of hers, and I have no shame about it whatsoever. So she's got a 20-year library, a 20-year
wow,
history of music, and she came out there for 10 songs.
Yeah,
and I understand it was Machine Gun Kelly's tour, but when you've got 20 years under your belt and lots of music,
we could have used a little
she's
more Avril.
But she's the reason
Kelly was out there for like an hour.
Oh no, Machine Gun Kelly was out there for almost 2 hours.
Yeah,
it was crazy the amount of songs he did.
Yeah, and I didn't know a single one of them.
None of us knew.
It was entertaining to watch. He had one of the best stage setups I've ever seen.
He did have an awesome stage setup.
The stage show was good. The music, the music minus the lyrics, the music was good.
Yeah.
His guitarists, his band,
was
super talented. The music itself was fantastic. The lyrics, and I gotta say this much about this. When I in the 80s, I was living in Eufaula, Alabama, which is right next door to Columbus, Georgia. The Beastie Boys came and performed a concert in Columbus, and they pulled out an inflatable 21-foot long male appendage. I'll just leave it at that. Were promptly arrested by Columbus police right off the stage because of decency laws.
Where did they get that at? In the 80s.
Look, they had to fight for the right to inflate it. Yeah. So they quickly lost that right. Yeah, they quickly lost that right. But Alabama is a relatively conservative state, as most people know. I was waiting for a similar incident when Machine Gun Kelly just bust out a joint on stage, lights it up, and just starts smoking it. And I'm like, I started looking around for the Birmingham police, and I'm like, okay, this is not going to go over well. It's not legal here yet. And so nothing happened. He continued to perform. He continued to smoke. He continued to use a lot of language. And I bring up that point only because about halfway through his show, he brought up a bunch of kids on stage.
Yeah.
Was smoking around the kids, cussing around the kids. And these kids are like 7,
Yeah,
8.
these are young
These
kids.
are tiny kids. Yeah. And that threw me off a little bit. I was like, what? And then he gets over there, yeah, these kids are so pure, man. You gotta keep them wholesome and pure. And I'm like, and you're doing this. So it was a show.
Yeah.
It was definitely a show.
I mean, I left out of there, and one of the first things I said to Brock, I was like, yeah, and this is why I kind of stick to the 80s and the 90s with my music choices. I usually, I'm in the past when it comes to music. So a lot of anything really that's 2014 or newer, I'm a little out of touch with. Yeah. I know who people are, but I mean, I don't necessarily listen to their music. So
let's just put it this way. We beat the traffic.
Oh, we did. Yeah. We beat the traffic.
We beat the traffic out.
That was a plus. Yeah.
Yeah. And my kids were here because it was Father's Day weekend. And, thankfully my kids don't like any of this music either. My kids actually like the music that we like. They like the 80s and 90s stuff a lot. They do know, naturally they know and enjoy a lot of the modern music. But I'd asked, my kids, I'm like, do you guys want to go to the Avril concert? Knowing good and well, I was not going to take them because I know the language that Avril uses, and I had only heard about Machine Gun Kelly, and so there was no way I was going to take them. But I just wanted I wanted the assurance that they did not want to go see them, so I felt good about leaving them at home. And so they're like, "Yeah, we don't know any of their music. It's fine, Dad. Go ahead." Okay, good.
Well,
so
I'll have you know, Brock. After we left the concert, I went on Spotify and I put on Machine Gun Kelly's music, and I got through half of a song, and I was like, "It's just not much better, really.
Yeah.
It's just not my kind of music." I mean,
it's not my thing.
Yeah. I'm sure he's all right, and there were definitely some kids there that were really, really digging his music, and I was like, "This must be what it feels like, Bo." Yep. To be old.
Yeah. Well, I guess
this was the big time get off my lawn feeling.
So what I've done now is I've realized I'm past the intended demographic. So like Brock said, I would have been like him. I mean, like I said, even though I'm not a huge Avril fan, I know a couple of her songs, and I would have enjoyed her aspect of it, and then been like, hey, that was when I was still targeted demographic. Now I'm not, and this guy is aiming for the target demographic. So
but yeah, like Kevin said, he had a great stage presence and setup and everything. The opening, they had this big fake helicopter tied to the ceiling, and it went around from the front of the arena to the back of the arena, and had a ladder on it. He came up right in front of us, which if you go to at Bama Geeks on TikTok, you can see this video, and 11,000 people have.
We're famous.
Yeah.
Thanks, Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah. And so we posted up, hey, Machine Gun Kelly arrives in Birmingham. That's all we said. And then just showed him 15 seconds being lifted out of this box onto this helicopter. And I guess just people on the internet being people on the internet left some less than stellar comments.
Yes.
And it's just like, okay, they were just bashing Alabama, bashing Machine Gun Kelly, and I'm just like, all I did was just put up a little 15-second video of him being lifted by a
both of those are easy targets, though. I mean,
to be fair, yeah.
Well, I get the impression, and too, based on a lot of the things he was doing in the concert, the internet will put you into the box, and we're gonna kill the internet tonight.
Yeah,
this whole thing about
big inflatable giant thing with a monitor on its head. He goes, I am the internet. You are nothing. And it's like, so it's basically,
you must stay in your box.
Yeah. His whole concert was Machine Gun Kelly versus the internet. And you know what? I'm glad he's controversial because he got us 11,000 views on TikTok on that video.
Yes, thank you, Machine Gun Kelly. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. And
like I said,
thank you, Alabama, for being a lightning rod as well. We appreciate it.
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
well, except from the time I watched it, like I said, it had a good crowd reaction. I mean, it sounded like it was pretty loud there from him coming out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can imagine Brock and Jess and I are sitting there watching this, and I'm like, he's going to come out of that spot. He's going to come out of there. That's why they've got that back there. It's going to come. And sure enough, the little helicopter starts flying back there. And and thankfully Brock was good enough to, have the camera up and got a really good video of it.
Yeah.
And sadly, there's a lot more footage of him on my phone than I really wish there was.
Well, he practically does an entire song hanging from this helicopter.
Yeah, he got
up there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the 12,000 songs that he did while he was there.
Yeah.
He was on the stage a very, very, very long time.
Did he do any kind of cover or anything? Something you knew?
No.
Wow.
No covers, nothing.
No,
Yeah.
and in my brain, I'm sitting there thinking, there's no way I'm going to last halfway through his set. But then he brought Avril out for one song, and I got back on my feet, and I was very happy because Avril was there. And then Avril left the stage, and I sat back down. And everybody else stood up around me, and I'm just like, I'm too old for this. But yeah, it's you know what? We didn't expect to see Billie Eilish this year, and we did. And I did not get it. I did not expect to see Avril again. It's been 14 years since I've seen her, and I was not going to miss her. And if I had to sit through Machine Gun Kelly for a little bit, then I had to sit through Machine Gun Kelly. But it was.
Let me tell you something. One of the things I was amazed about this concert, though, it started 4 minutes early.
Yeah,
the concert started 4 minutes early. Like, I was like, okay, we're about to be in for a long concert if they're starting it early. And sure enough, like you said, Machine Gun Kelly was out there for like 2 hours.
Yeah, legit 2 hours.
Wow.
This
guy's got a crazy catalog. See, it should have been the other way around. It should have been Avril was out there for 2 hours. And we just saw Machine Gun Kelly come in, but
yeah,
I'm sure she has a bigger catalog. But hey, I digress.
Yep. But it was good to go to a concert, and Kevin, Jess, and I, we got to go hang out and enjoy it. We got, like Jess said, we got to eat dinner with Chase and Katie beforehand at the Southern in the little uptown area of Birmingham. That's one of our favorite restaurants to eat at. So
yep.
So yeah, that's our Machine Gun Kelly review.
That was Father's Day weekend.
Yeah, and what a great gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now
not quite as bad as Walmart, but close.
You'll see 50 guys that look like Machine Gun Kelly at Walmart.
True. Very true. Yes.
Will.
Yeah.
There was actually a guy running up the stands while we were there that looked like him. And I was like, is that actually Machine Gun Kelly? People aren't freaking out. No, he's just dressed like him. Okay.
Nah, he just wants to be him.
Not him, but he wears uniform. I gotcha.
But he did stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Yes. Well, to counteract Machine Gun Kelly, Jess and I are going to go see Elton John in
Yay!
in September. So
cleanse your palate.
I will.
Yeah, that'll bring us back down to our age
The
group.
palate will be so cleansed. Yes.